I'm just on his third, and then he wants to present second grade. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, don't know what we did, but it's working.
I don't know. It's always something.
It is.
Not the truth.
We need 200 home parts. And if you fill out the from one, I can fill out the
Soon. So Kelly,
Yes.
I need to be a co-host, please.
Oh, yes.
I was, I know, but I got out and back in,
No,
sorry.
sorry, I forgot. There you go. Here it comes.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. We are 12 o'clock on the dot, ready to get going. So happy to see all the bright, shiny faces today, and Tom Posey made it. Poor Tom. Well, thank you all for coming today. I hope y'all have been enjoying the weather. It's been a little chilly in the morning, but I think about midday, it's been pretty nice. So if you would all join us in the invocation, one of our guests, Rick Horn, has graciously volunteered to do our invocation for us.
Wow. You, Rick?
Will you please rise to remove your caps? Bow in reverence. Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this glorious day. Thank you for providing us with sufficient rain and temperate weather so we can enjoy your majesty on the outdoors. Thank you for these folks that are gathered around this table. Provide them with a servant heart so we can go out and still do your good work as good disciples. We also thank you for our government. We ask that you pray to give them strong leadership with a moral compass, that they do the right thing. We bless this food that's in front of us. Bless the folks that prepared it for us, that we use this food and nourishment so we can continue serving you. And we ask you always keep us mindful of the needs of others. We ask this through your name and grace. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Now, if you will join me in the pledge. Jen's like, whoops. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I can't help it. I sat by Fred for so many years doing the pledge that as soon as we say justice and liberty for all, I hear play ball. All right. So Michelle, are you introducing? Oh, Catherine is gonna, okay. Catherine is going to come and someone is gonna come and introduce our guest. All right, here's Catherine.
We have all our Rotarians joining us today. So today we are lucky to have with us as guest Rick Horn.
Hey, Rick.
From the Plano Club. And as an assistant to our speaker, Mr. Lawrence Mann, we have Josh Rick.
Guests online, no, but we froze. All right, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, Steve, you ready to get us going?
Yes, ma'am. Get my Mr. Microphone working here. Hope everybody's having a beautiful day. Enjoy the good weather while you can, because it's certainly not typical of January. So get outside. Welcome to the meeting. Of course, we're going to be working on brags here. Does anybody want to be first today? All right.
I don't know how many of you have been following my adventures on Facebook, but I bought a house back at the end of November. That's in my neighborhood that needs a lot of work. And if you watch my Facebook wall, you get to see every little bit as I go through and tear stuff down, find new things that is just amazing that somebody did to the house badly, and having to go through and fix that and restore and renovate the house. And I just finished the last of my demolition last night, and now I get to start the fixing and the painting this afternoon. So I am happy to have a project. I am also unhappy at how out of shape I am at taking on something like this by myself. So
Your kids aren't lined up to help you?
no.
Imagine that. Rick, did you have something you want to say?
Again, I'm Rick Horn, longtime member of the Plano Rotary Club. You may have seen my signs out there. Yes, indeed, I'm running for City Council Place 3. And this is an empty seat. It's Rick Grady. I don't know if some of you know him. He's termed out. So this is going to be an open seat. Just to let you know, if you want to hear more of the details, we have a kickoff party at the Haggard Party Barn on the 25th, which is next week from 6 to 8. So please come out there. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to talk to you about my positions, but you're going to find me to be fiscally conservative for one. I think we need to manage the budgets and re-examine how, I got some ideas on how we can re-examine our tax base. So I'm looking forward to bring that to talk to City Council on that. Experience wise, 6 years on Park and Rec. I was chairman for 3 on that, and 3 years with planning and zoning. And on that, I was vice chair for 1 year. And 10 years, for 10 years, I was Plano Balloon Festival. So I ate plenty of your waffles, so that's probably too many. Fred, that's your fault. But anyway, I hope for your support. If you want to come out and see me next week, we're going to have more about my position. So thank you.
Anybody else here want to brag? Okay, Fred.
Well, even though Rick won't sit next to me, I'll still say, I mean, he is a servant leader, definitely. And one thing I did leave out, we interviewed Ryla kids a couple years, and but anyway, he's a great Rotarian and he'll do a great job with City Council. And I've seen his work with planning and zoning and so forth. So anyway, Rick, I'm on your side.
Thanks.
Now, that's not very Rotarian. I announced last week already, but I feel inclined just to tell folks tomorrow morning I am filing to run for school board trustee in place 7. And so I know you've been witness to me and my meal drive-throughs for those kids and their families all these last couple of years. And my have to listen to my work with Barron PTA. That's what's bringing me to run for that position, because I think it's time that we stop pointing fingers and arguing about things and focus on our kids and what we need to do for them and our educators who have suffered through all this trouble alongside us. So thank you for your coming support.
Okay,
Hey, guys, I missed y'all.
Hey, Jan.
Mine's more personal. I'm super excited. I just spent 4 days with my college girlfriends. This was our 16th year to get together, just and reconnect. And we went somewhere. I was just telling Michael about, I think everybody should go at least once in your life. I've been twice now since 2020. The Legacy Museum and Memorial. It's the only place in the US that teaches about enslavement, mass incarceration, Jim Crow, all that of Black Americans. It is life-changing. It's everything you didn't learn in school. And there is called the Lynching Monument. It has a more eloquent name, but that's kind of the name. And it is just, you won't be the same when you leave. So it's in Montgomery, Alabama. You could get there in 10.5 hours. It's just life-changing. So party bus.
thank you.
Michael, did you have one? Steve?
Sorry.
So this weekend, it's very personal. I have 2 nephews. One, both are of a brother who's now deceased. And for reasons, they really never had any contact with each other. And so this weekend we got them both together and hung out. And so for the first time ever, they met each other. Yeah.
Awesome.
Pretty cool. Wait, 22 and 40.
I just want your child or adult.
Yeah, one is literally old enough to technically be the other's father. So yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Now I'm gonna turn this way. Anybody over here want to brag? James, you always have something to say.
Ben.
Ben, did you want to?
I want to say TCU is still open for registrations for the fall.
Hey, the Dallas Cowboys showed up last night.
Yes, they did.
I stood corrected. I was sure they were gonna snatch defeat from the jaws of victory yet again, but they did.
They did not. They did not. I have never.
Yeah.
He's indeed today looking for a job. Anybody's over here?
I have one.
Ah, I knew you would.
Thank you, sir. Hey, I would like to brag about my lovely wife. Oh, no, I just forgot her name.
This is baby Judy Thomas.
Okay, so what happens in here stays in here, you know that, don't you? I know. But on March 2nd, in conjunction with the art center here in Plano, my lovely wife has gotten together with several fans and people, and what they're doing is a big Dr. Seuss event. Well, and you say wow, but it's more personal than that, in the sense that she's connected with HEB, so with Mabry Jackson. She's also connected with Atmos Energy, and Mabry will supply the food and some other things, and Atmos Energy will supply the grills and all, because they are looking forward from Rotary Club in Plano, Rick, to work in conjunction, Lawrence, together to cook hamburgers and hot dogs for the kids who will be there to celebrate Dr. Seuss's birthday on March 2nd, Plano Art Center. So bragging on my wife putting it together. Y'all think the only thing she worked on was putting me together. No, she works on other things. Let's work abroad. Oh, God help me.
So you reckon the cat and the hat will be there?
Oh, I know for a fact.
Okay. And the library mobile?
Oh, yeah, the library, yeah. Talk to this, Libby.
He will be, so he's ready to sing at Plano Library.
Okay. Anybody else want to brag?
Okay. So we'll have talk about this, but we'll talk about it probably every week for the next few weeks. Our adoption fair is on again for 25th of March, last Saturday in March. There'll be more information coming, but it's like all years, we need like 60 volunteers, 65 or something. It'll be here in Plano, and we're working with CPS again, and we'll get a bunch of kids and show them a good time and feed them, and they'll be able to mingle with some prospective forever home parents. So stay tuned and mark your calendar.
Is registration to help open yet?
It's imminent.
Imminent.
Hoping to do that this week.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I had a great time last year. I was part of security. I tackled 2 or 3 kids trying to escape. It was a blast. All right, let's go. Let's go online, see if we got anybody want to brag this at home or the office today. Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
I just wanted to brag that we in our department are trying to increase access to our centers. That's one of the priorities of our current city council. And we as a department are pulling together, and we are having this big open house next month. And it's just, I'm so excited, and I'm really proud of our team coming together and pulling this all together, because it's going to allow a lot of people access into our centers who maybe have never been into any of our rec centers and don't know what to expect. And I just love the idea of increasing access to our park and recreation amenities. So far, so good. We got the budget and we're rocking and rolling, and open house is going to be the week of February 13th. So be there or be square. More information about that later. So
Thanks for sharing. Anybody else want to brag? If so, tell us all about it. I think we're done with brags. Turn it back to El Presidente.
Thank you, sir. All right. So I have several business items for us to discuss, but I would like for Tamara, our president-elect, she wants to give us a quick update on our foundation and scholarship.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Quick message from Scholarship and Foundation Committee. Meeting emails have gone out, so we should be meeting by the end of this month. But just some quick updates on our Scholarship Committee. The link is already up. It's been sent to Glenn, so he will put it in the newsletter, send it out, or whatever he does so wonderful. Flyer has been done, and that has been sent to Glenn as well. We need help getting the word out. We will be taking applications up through May, so we need help with getting this word out to all of this possible students, possible graduates of Plano, also our college students. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm stuttering. And if you live in Plano or go to school in Plano or work in Plano, then you are able to apply for these scholarships. We give out 6 scholarships for $1,000 each. Our foundation committee, we are asking everyone this year to give $25 to the foundation, all of our members. And we didn't get any gifts from July to December through the club. Now, some people do automatic withdrawals, and we don't get those reports. But as far as turning into club and our treasurer, we didn't get any gifts for July to December, which is strange. So let's do what we gotta do, right? To give to our nonprofit. And then we're also looking to partner with another club in Plano and the club from Kenya to do a global grant for water wells and stations from our recent presenter, Pastor Paula Wina. Remember, he talked about what the water stations in Kenya. So we want to partner with Plano Metro East. Oh, gosh, I can't remember.
It's Metro.
Metro. And with the Rotary Club in Kenya and see if we can help. I think that we added up maybe $30,000 would finish the medical clinic and do all of the rest of the water wells. They had done 15 out of 65, so they still needed 50 water stations for every village. And so I think that's a pretty small number to, to do. And then also membership orientation will now be will be once a month. It'll either be on Zoom or it'll be in person. It'll alternate. So we'll get and Joanna's going to help facilitate that. So we will get the message for when the next meeting will be. And sorry if I sound like that. I've worked hard already today.
Wait a minute, here's my 25 today.
Yeah.
Look at you, just have to ask.
Anybody who donates 25 today, I'm asking.
Did y'all hear that? Okay. All right. Anybody, huh?
Here's my 25.
Okay, so there has been quite a bit of discussion. We had a big discussion last night at the board meeting about trying to make sure that we are, covering all of our bases. I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but Julia Lynn has served on the board for 2 years, I believe. Due to school, which she is now, I believe, sophomore in college. Due to that commitment, she has chosen to step down. And so last month, there was a unanimous vote that our very own Jen Schertzer is our newest board member. So if y'all will join me in congratulating Jen. I think she will be a great addition. She has such insight in the community and what's going on. So I think that'll be a great addition. So next, Steve is in dire need of people to do classification talks. We've had some lag time, some downtime over the holidays. So please, any and everyone that would like to do a classification talk, get with Steve so we can get you on the calendar.
We need to get back to that, please.
That way you don't have to spend as much time listening to me ramble up here. You can have some of your other friends up here talking. Another thing is, you all know how successful our Plano Balloon Festival was. The board discussed last night, we have to come up with the final amount of funds that we have to donate to our local nonprofits. But in order to do that, we need to reestablish our benevolence committee. This was in existence for many ages prior to, I think, 2019-ish is when it was kind of dispelled. But the purpose of this committee is to determine for the club who our candidates are, the local nonprofits that could utilize or benefit from our financial support. We do a lot of manpower and physical support, but this is our opportunity. That's what our Balloon Festival proceeds are intended for. So we have committee members for the benevolence committee, but we need someone to step up and agree to be the chair for the benevolence committee. So if anyone is interested, please get with me or Glenn so that we can get that process started, because we would really like to get going on that as soon as possible. Next, you all know beautiful, wonderful Tamara Thomas is our president-elect. So she will take over from me July 1st.
But we need to find someone to be our president nominee to serve as president after Tamara. So anyone can nominate anyone. You can nominate a club member, you can nominate yourself. Just get with who is our nomination chair, our nominee chair. Did we even decide that?
I just said one of you two.
Okay, I'm sorry. We talked about so many things last night and I don't have my notes in front of me. So if you have anyone you would like to recommend, be it yourself or a fellow club member, please let Tamara or I know. The process is going to be, we're taking nominations between now and January 30th, because our meeting on January 31st, we will have our election vote. So please get any recommendations to us. We already have one, but if anyone else is interested, we are open for that as well. So there, I covered two of those. Now, the next thing on the list, I don't even think I have a minute. I don't think I had the opportunity or seized the opportunity to discuss this with the board last night, but you all know that Janelle, Barry Cook, and Tamara Thomas and I are in leadership class 39. Is it best class ever and ever? So we best damn class ever. How's that? So at any rate, the light class?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Instead of full blown.
The light ones? Oh. I don't know what that means either, because we're pretty rowdy. So anyways, for those that don't know, the leadership Plano classes choose a service project each year for them to take on. We voted on and selected a project on Thursday of last week, but we walked away from that. A few of us saying, you know, we really want to do both of these projects. So Tamara and I kind of made the decision. I think we will serve as co-chairs of these projects, but we want, in partnership with the Sunrise Club, Plano Sunrise Club, because they actually approached the executive director of the project as well, and another classmate and her sorority want to participate as well. So I think we're going to have plenty of manpower. But we want to adopt this project for Hope's Door, New Beginnings. It's going to be right up our alley. It's painting, doing some landscape touch up. I have the list here, but it's just getting out and helping them do a slight facelift on the facilities, because it's run down. And being a nonprofit professional, I know that those funds are usually, and those items are usually always put on the back burner. So she actually has a budget to cover the supplies to do the project. She just needs the manpower. And as you all know, in the nonprofit sector, we kind of work our volunteers to the bone. So her volunteers don't have the energy to continue to do all of this. So we would love for all of us to be able to help with that. I think with the collaboration with the Sunrise Club, as well as Chris with the K's sorority, I think we could do it in record time. It doesn't all have to be one day. And we're still in the early stages. We are going to Shep with Sunrise, and I and Tamara, if you would like to go as well, are gonna go and visit with Christina, the executive director of Hope Store, and get a better idea of all the projects that she has done and kind of get a deadline, and we'll map out how we want to do it so that if it carries over into Tamara's year, it carries over. We just want to help them and be able to get it done. So be watching for that. Hope Store New Beginnings is a domestic violence crisis center. So they not only help the women, but the children of a domestic violence situation. They do quite a bit more than just serving as a shelter. I have a little list. So they do the crisis intervention, basic needs assistance. They have a 24-hour hotline. They do individual and group counseling. They provide legal representation, CPS advocacy, legal advocacy, community education, corporate education, access to affordable and supportive housing, parenting and life management skills, economic empowerment and career connections, educational support, and enhanced children youth services. You guys, they do a lot.
They've always been an integral force with Plano Independent Schools. They think about
Yes.
students with can, those kids with Tennessee.
PISD, right, right.
It's important that with Hope School being an EV place that we continue to, what their address is certainly confidential.
Yes, the addresses are confidential, so we won't know that until you're showing up day of.
But what do I want to be for that facility?
I think it's the, Tamara, can you remember what, it's like the main facility, I believe.
Sure, I know that there's one in Plano and one in Garland.
Well,
This is the Plano location. Yes, yes, yes. So anyways, just wanted to throw that out there. Be watching for that because we'll be including that in some upcoming emails. And so without further ado, Joanna, there she is going to introduce our speaker for today. And I will go sit down.
Today we have fellow Rotarian Lawrence Mann with us. He's the founder and director of Top Achievers. This is an organization that has helped over 50,000 Plano students and has been in existence since 1996. And I'm going to make this brief because Lawrence has got a lot to say. So let's give a big Rotary welcome to Lawrence Mann.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I always want to say it's always a privilege and a pleasure to be amongst a Rotarian and our community. You know, I love Plano because it represents the real world. And I want to give a shout out to Mr. Hall, Benton Hall, who I've known for over 30 years. When I moved to town, he asked me to participate in was it the rally? What was it called? The drug rally? It was called the rally when we were having a lot of issues in Plano with our youth overdosing. So that was something real special for me. So thank you for being a part of that. And thank you for inviting me. We've been knowing each other for 30 years, right? 30 years. And then James Thomas. Everybody knows James.
Everybody knows James.
Everybody knows James. Again, I appreciate our friendship over the same. And James has not missed every event that we put together every year with Plano ISD and Top Achievers. James is always there. So James, thank you for your support. I appreciate your friendship as well. And then last but least here, Jen. You guys know this Jen Schertzer, man. She is amazing.
She is.
And this lady right here have helped me over the last 2 years. We're part of Leadership Plano 36. And it's the greatest class ever. It's the greatest class ever, right? It's the greatest. So Jen has been just a blessing to me. I saw her last year at the Hendricks Foundation fundraiser, which I'm also on the board there. And she said, Lawrence, she says, I got a little time to help you this year. You need some help? I'm like, Jennifer, thank you. God, I need some help. Thank you for coming in. And so we went together working on our new website, the branding, marketing of our company. And Jennifer didn't know what she was getting into. At times she goes, Lawrence, this is so much. I say, I know, that's why I prayed for you. And she came my way. So Jen, thank you for your servanthood. Thank you for helping. And thank you for making our community better. Josh is going to come up here and we're going to go through our slide presentation. And I want to first, again, thank you guys for this opportunity because as you well know, I wear two hats. One for Plano ISD as the at-risk specialist. They changed the title now as student service specialist. And then the other Top Achievers, the founder of Top Achievers that I established in 1996. And I have a little video that we're going to show you the beginning of Top Achievers because I can talk less with more video. One of the defining moments of my life is when my son was detected with a hole in his heart. The doctors had said that we needed to have surgery on his heart. We needed to close the hole because if we had not, he would have lived up until 12 years of age. and his heart would have been enlarged and eventually fell. So I remember my mom telling me this story, or making this statement to me before I left home. She said, son, there may be a defining moment in your life where something drastic is going to happen. And at that point, you need to look to God and make a vow to him. Make a vow, but don't break it. And whatever that vow is, he will come through and answer your prayer. At this time, watching my son on the operating table, knowing that the doctor had said it was a 50-50 chance of him making it, I said, God, if you save my son from this surgery, I would dedicate my life to kids and health and fitness. And I will quit my job right now as an act of faith. I quit my job. My wife asked me, what are we going to do next? I said, I don't know, but I made a vow to take care of other kids, to promote health and fitness, to help them to supersede their goals in life. So every time I hear that story, man, it reminds me of being in the hospital that day. And this is the mission behind what I do. So I am so happy to say for 30 years, I've been committed to that mission. And I think the people that allow me to be a part of their kids and to help see them grow, as you're going to see in a few minutes, I'm so happy to be a proud of that. So this is Lawrence Jr., and this is my entire family. Well, since then, we have like 2+ more. We got 2 more, and those are my family. And all of my sons, all 3 of my sons was raised in Plano. They all played football and basketball. And today they're successful men. They're married. They're also have their lane in life to help more kids. So I'm really, really happy that God has blessed me to have a great family. Like again, we were established in 1996. And I'm gonna show you a 1-minute video, because I look at this video, I think about the curious story of Benjamin Button. If you guys hadn't seen that, it takes you back 35 years. And so I forgot how young I was when I started talking to you. But that's about how I moved to Plano, and I West Plano Athletic Club. And I asked them to allow me to build a kids program. So I took the racquetball court and I started training come down and train to learn about top achievement. I tell every young person that has passion, you either have a gift, you have a goal, and they have a thing if y'all want to follow your passion, follow your mission. I'm a living example.
The Top Achievers program was developed last year with Rod Jones from the Cincinnati Bengals and myself. We wanted to find a program to interact with kids with athletics, and at the same token, focus in on the mental.
That was the beginning of starting with Top Achievers, and we actually started thinking about, okay, now we're helping these kids. What are we helping? And I've always thought about social, emotional. I thought about academic success, and I started thinking about, what are we trying to do? So we came up with, took me 20 years to get this right. We inspiring, we're transforming and empowering kids to live a healthier lifestyle with high achievement. That's what we do. And when I got hired to work for Plano ISD, I'm like, hey, what do you want me to do? They go, do the same thing you're doing for the foundation. And together, it's just a great, great marriage. So our core values is always respect. Treat others as you want to be treated. Be responsible. We hear kids say, well, coach, man, my mom is doing this and, I don't want to listen to her and I'm a man. I'm like, okay, what's your definition of a man? Well, you know, I take care of my responsibilities, or do you pay rent? No. Well, sit down, boy. You're still a boy. So a man, or a, you know, when I ask the kids, you know, what's their definition of a man or a woman? I said, guys, first of all, you have to act and think and live responsibly. All right. Number three, you have to work hard. Life just doesn't happen. You have to have a goal in life. You have to be intentional about what you want to do, and you got to make it happen. So what is Top Achievers? Top Achievers, I look at it as a resource hub for kids. And I say resource hub, I think about Amazon. They have this big hub where everybody put their merchandise on it, people buy it. Well, they come to us, and kids, what we say, what do you want to do? Let's assess your talent. I call it the AED. E, let's get you some exposure in that talent. D, so you'll have a direction where to go in life. So what we do is a lot of great foundations out there. I'm on one, the Hendricks Foundation, and we provide scholarships for kids. But Top Achievers is a pipeline for those kids to get to that next level. And we start with them early. I think when we start with them early, we can accomplish these goals. So we have 5 programs, STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, mentorship, esports, financial literacy, and basketball. So on our STEAM program, we ask kids, what do you want to do? So we thought, what ways to do that? Science. As I explained to you earlier, the assessment piece is so important because a lot of kids don't know what they want to do in life. I didn't know when I was 18 years old. So as an educator, as a coach, we have to monitor the kids. And how do you monitor? By playing the games that they love. I can go in the room and give them instructions. They may get it, they may not. But if I found out their love language, they're going to be responsive. So we assess their talent. Once we find that talent, we give them some exposure so they'll have a direction. And when I say talent, no kid, I don't think we were born without a gift. We all have gifts in life. And if we can distract those gifts for those kids and help them find that passion, they'll be a happier kid. But this program has taken the basketball players, kids that want to play high school basketball, college basketball, and have catapulted to another level. Since 2006, I took 200 names of our kids. Where are they now? 95% of those kids went to college. 90% have graduated already. And I started looking at these numbers like, wow, how do we duplicate this same model for other things like esports and engineering? And how do we do that for volleyball? So when kids come to me, they have a passion to do something in life. And what we do is help bring that together. This young man is very special to me because during COVID-19, we were in a dilemma like, what do we do with kids now? We can't touch them. We don't see them. So I thought about what we were facing with Plano ISD. We were remote learning. A lot of kids were failing, probably about 50% of the state kids were like, I don't know about this asynchronous learning. What is asynchronous learning? What is synchronous learning? So I made a deal with UT Dallas Neuroscience Department, and these were kids of color. I said, you need community service hours. We can provide that for you, but you have to give our kids tutoring hours. They go, huh? Well, we can make that happen. What does it take? I say a level of commitment, one or 2 hours a week, train a kid or talk to a kid that needs some mentoring or kids need some academic support, and we will help you, we'll help this kid become successful. So Francis did that. One of our students went from a 64 to an 85 in 30 days working with Francis. And this is what the medical school wrote to Francis after they accepted him last year. They said, because of your involvement with Top Achievers, we're going to help you get into our medical school. So I started thinking, this is a good deal. Now, how do we do more? How do we get more colleges and more students to respond to this need for helping our educational system? So again, Francis is one of my great stories that I love to talk about. Also, Digazua, he had a good game last night. And he is one of the kids that have come to us and say, Mr. Mayor, I want to help mentor. I want to help build a better community. And OSA came in last year with a book club to work with our kids to start stimulating their brain and to have conversation when they met. And not only that, this year, there were some of our family members in Plano Attendance Review Board that were struggling. And I called them up. He said, how much they need? What can I help you with? So we have a Dallas Cowboy here in our community helping our kids and helping our families grow and be successful. Here's the pictures of our mentoring program. Now, this last story I'm gonna leave you with here is one of the girls that I started working with in 8th grade.
Hi, my name is Maggie Lugano, and I'm in the class of 2023. I first started coming to Top Achievers in 2017 when my cousin had invited me, and it's been one of the best experiences of my life.
Hi, I'm Susan Plonka, and I'm mentoring Maggie through the Top Achievers Mentoring Program. Maggie has been so much fun. She is easy to talk to. She's such a bright young woman. And I'm really enjoying making her feel comfortable, and as she goes through this high school experience and starts thinking about where she's going to go to college.
In June 2020, I tested positive for COVID-19, and my symptoms were just mild. It was just loss of smell, but I still had my taste. Everything was fine. After 2 weeks, I was clear. I was able to continue with my normal life again. Right before school, I was diagnosed with MISC, and 1 minute I was fine. I was just on my phone at night, dancing on the phone with my friends, and around 3 a.m. in the morning, I remember just feeling sick. I couldn't get up. My eyes were red, and I remember I was calling out for my mom in the bathroom, and she had to come to the bathroom. And I remember she being so scared because she didn't know what was wrong with me. And I just felt like I had to throw up most of the time. So I remember going to Plano Hospital, and we were there for 3 days actually. We just kept going back and forth, and they couldn't tell me what was wrong with me. So it was just like my body was giving up on me, and it felt like I was just really close. And I don't know what I was close to, but it was just close to something. And I remember being admitted to Dallas Hospital in downtown, and them telling me I had MISC, which is basically a respiratory disease in kids, and especially teenagers.
Well, I wasn't involved in it at first, and I really didn't know the depth of it. And it was so easy to, listen to her and really feel in my heart all of the things that she was going through. Such a unique time, but she is facing those challenges so bravely.
After 4 days, I slowly started recovering, and by the 5th day, I was perfectly fine again. They told me the reason why I was able to recover so fast was because I was an athlete, and ever since then, it's just still something that I'm struggling with. But due to the doctors not knowing what it was earlier, it did bring damage to my heart. And within those 3 days, it brought a lot of damage to my respiratory disease to the point where I had infections all over my body. The doctor told me in 3 months, you'll be able to go back to basketball, everything will be perfectly fine, and I believed that. After a month, I was still not doing basketball. I was at home trying to recover, waiting for the clear. I went to my appointment. I was told my heart's still damaged and that it could have been worse, and that since this is such a new disease and such a new problem in kids, that they don't know when I was going to be able to return to basketball. He said it could have been 6 months, could have been a year. When I contacted Coach Mann and told him, he was very patient with me. The Top Achievers program was very patient with me. I remember them just telling me, hey, just get better, take your time, and when you can come back, we'll be here waiting for you. And even while you're still recovering, we're still here waiting for you, and we're still here encouraging you and supporting you, if that means on the court and that means off. So Top Achievers has just been there the whole way. They've never left my side. They called me, checked up on me.
It's fun to go out to lunch with her. It's fun to walk around the track and hear about some of her hopes and dreams. I'm glad I met Maggie. We have lots to do.
They've just been there for me. They've helped me and supported me emotionally, mentally, and they really brought that confidence that I lost due to being hospitalized. And now I have confidence that I never knew I had, even better than before. And it's just helped me be a leader on the court and helped me to push mentally, not give up, know that yes, I had the biggest setback, but I'm gonna have a major comeback.
A great guy. And who would have known that I had a patient that my son was going through 30 years from now? You know, I started looking at all the kids we've helped. These are kids that have gotten scholarships this year. We have just tons of kids getting degrees, and we want folks to know, since we're the best kept secret, the word is out now. We're not a secret anymore. We've helped hundreds of thousands of kids over these 30-year period. Last year, we had 10 athletes that graduated without a scholarship on the basketball circuit. We took them around the country like we always do to see what colleges says, I want you. All you need is that one college. Well, 9 out of 10 kids receive scholarships, and they're off to college right now. The 10th kid was this young man standing here today, and we had a connection with Blairville Automotive School in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And they had offered this kid a scholarship. So he's there right now getting a degree or certificate in automotive mechanics. He'll come back in April making $45,000 for starters, working for a company in Plano. So these are the success stories that we have. And I'm going to share one story with you with Mike. He's one of our officers who talked about his involvement with Top Achievers. And I thought that was pretty neat because I had no idea that we were on his radar to bring in new kids from our community.
So a lot of times I may not have the resources, the time, the effort, but I can target these kids, and if they're receptive, I can get them in the right relationship, the right resources, such as Top Achievers. So I can call Lawrence and say, hey, I got a kid over here like this, great kid, does like this, but he's got a lot of potential, but here's what I'm seeing. And these are the at-risk flags. He's struggling in school because of his attitude, not because of a lack of ability, because he's not motivated. I don't know whether he's not getting it at home or whatever reason. It's manifesting itself here and it's causing a problem. This kid's on a bad path. So that's when Lawrence can step in and bring him into Top Achievers, where he's in a different environment, where he's encouraged, he's affirmed, he realizes his worth as part of a team, become part of a team, which means he does have that worth, some self-respect, discipline, honor, integrity. Next thing you know, that's a totally different kid. Kids responded so well to this, and I've seen kids on the back end of it, And when I meet these kids, this is a totally different kid. This is a kid who's respectful. If I was an employer, that's who I'd want working for me. If these are just really great kids on the back end, they turn out good. And you see them on the front end, and they're lacking in a lot of these just self-worth, discipline, and they achieve these through the mentoring process. And it really worked out good with the community as well as top achievers. It's a necessity here in this town. I think every town should have a resource like that.
And Mike now has retired, so we're looking for the next officers to come in and partner with us. But again, this is just a snapshot on what we do and how we do it. We're looking for the new generation of kids. We had our camp last September, and you can see how many kids that's ready to go down that same pipeline as those others that have been successful. And this camp was with Dallas Mavericks, Jaden Hardy, who had been mentoring with our kids for the last 2 years prior to him being drafted to the Mavericks. So we have some really cool things going on in our program. We have great partners. And one of the things that I want people to know is that this year, we want to come out with a bang. We need more volunteers. We need more support. And you want to ask how you get involved? This last minute video will show you how to get involved.
So when it comes to the Top Achievers Mentorship Program, we have two types of mentors. We have the academic mentors who they voluntarily give tutoring, and then we have the socio-emotional. The academic mentors can be someone who works with a student for 2 to 3 weeks, some a whole semester, some a whole year. But we'll have students that say, hey, I just need help on my midterm. I just need help with getting through these next 6 weeks so I can be eligible. Can you help me? And we have people in the pipeline, it might be you, who can help these students increase their grades. And then we have the socio-emotional, which is more long-term. And these are students who have the capacity to grow, but they just need someone who's speaking truth, who's speaking love, and who's encouraging them on a consistent basis. And that's where our socio-emotional team comes in and says, hey, let's meet for 2 to 3 times a month. Let's sit down and have coffee or a Zoom call and just talk about life. Let's process together. And that's really important because in this year, as you know, people need a place to process. I mean, online is not the most healthy place, but to have someone who's going to listen, who's going to guide them in a way that not impressing them with different ideologies, but just saying, hey, I'm going to be a consistent voice of positivity. I'm going to encourage you to keep going. I'm going to point out and affirm certain things in your life. That's where we step in and help them out. And so you might fall into the line of a volunteer mentor or a tutor or a socio-emotional tutor. And sometimes they intertwine, but just be willing. If you ever get into a place where your mentee is not reaching out to you and they say, hey, I no longer need you anymore because either I passed this class, I'm good, or I don't think I need the socio-emotional support that I thought I needed long term. Let your regional director know and we'll get you someone new as soon as possible. You guys, if you have any other questions, let us know and we'll get some answers for you. Peace. So when it comes to the Top Achievers Mentorship.
All right, that's my presentation. I wanted the words, I wanted the video to speak for itself. And I thank you guys for just listening. But when you see the amazing things that's going on in our community and all the impact, we need more of it. And so it takes a community. It takes people that's willing to help. And Josh and I worked together on the esports, but last week we targeted, actually I've been targeting 2 or Title 9. Is it Title 9? Not Title 9, but what is the, James, help me out.
Going to the wrong side. Title 1? What do you mean?
The underserved.
Well, Title 1 campus.
Okay, Title 1. 2 Title 1 schools that we bought some equipment for, and we're having esports events. And last week was one of our kickoff, and Josh had a great story on one of the teachers. Share that story with us, Josh, about how we're impacting, because the basketball piece, we've had that for years. Now we get into other areas where we can reach more kids, and the esports kids are totally different. It's not the mainstream education, but it's still a place for them to come in and feel special, feel wanted. But what was the testimony for one of the teachers?
First thing is, who knows what esports is? So there's a couple of, okay, decent amount. Esports is essentially video games. They have schools, colleges are now recognizing video games as a valid option for scholarships. And so there's kids that can actually get scholarship opportunities by being part of a video game team, which is crazy to think of, but it's where our world is headed, and gaming is so important. But we've been helping these schools, and I told Coach Mann about this moment because, you know, it's easy to sell statistics. It's hard to sell the intangible moments that take place. And sometimes those moments or why we get involved with the nonprofit is because of the moments. It's not necessarily because of all the statistics and all those things. And so we're sitting here and we're gaming with these kids. It's their first time together. And there was a couple moments, but one that stood out to me specifically is there was this kid and he was playing, just having the best time ever. And I'm sitting here talking to his teacher, and his teacher looks over, he goes, "This is amazing." And I was like, "What's amazing?" Like, "Yeah, just kids playing video games." And he goes, "I've never seen that kid smile before." And he goes, and he's just lit up. And after the class, that same kid who the teacher said had never seen smile before, he's talking to one of his friends and he goes, "That was the best time ever." He goes, "I don't think I've ever had a moment in my life that I've had so much fun." And it was just amazing to see these kids interacting with one another, but also for that moment to stand out that something as simple as getting kids together for an hour to create a moment for them, for that one kid spoke volumes. And little moments like that can just bring so much long-term change for the direction of a kid's life. And so it was just really incredible.
Well, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. Time is up here. I'm pretty proud. I appreciate giving the opportunity.
Absolutely. We appreciate you coming back as a presenter and sharing your wonderful mission with us. And you probably remember from when you were here last time, we make a donation in your name to the Polio Plus Fund, which is matched 2-to-1 by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So it will end up being a $30 donation to provide polio vaccines.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
50.
All right. Anybody want to match that?
Thank you. Thank you guys so very much. So our next meeting next week, the 24th, we have someone from the Rise Academy coming to present to give us more information. Hopefully.
I still haven't heard.
Okay, if not,
We'll have
if not, we'll just play games and have fun.
It's not the Rise, it'll be the Fall Academy.
Yeah, the Fall Academy, we'll play, yeah. If you, yes, it could be a classification meeting
people to come.
with prizes there.
Okay, prizes.
If you'll all stand and join me in the 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Five, is it fun? Y'all have a great rest of the week, guys.
Thank you, Kelly.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.